This is one of my nieces, and when they test you, the stuff that they put is actually poison. Shabbat Shalom, everyone,
Shabbat
and
Shalom.
welcome to the temple. We begin our service singing Ma Yafeh Hayom Shabbat Shalom. How beautiful the day is. It is Shabbat. Now to page 172 to sing together Ma Tovu. As we turn to page 195 for the Berlow. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, יוצר אור ובורא חושך, עושה שלום ובורא את הכל, המאיר לארץ ולדרים עליה ברחמים, ובטובו מחדש בכל יום תמיד מעשה וראשית. מה רבו מעשיך אדוני, כולם בחוכמה עשית, מלאה הארץ קנייניך. תתברך אדוני אלוהינו על שבח מעשה ידיך, ועל מאורי אור שעשית יפארו חסלה. אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות. And we read together, the world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes. More welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. And we turn to page 200 for the calling of the Shema. Please be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise.
And we turn now to page 204 to sing together Mi Chamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עוזבלה, נורא תהילות עוזבלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר
turn to page 205 for the tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens, they felt you in their hearts, they sought you in their lives. Their quest is ours. Help us to see the wonder of being. Give us the courage to search for truth. Teach us the path to a better life. So shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring nearer the world we envision, one of justice, freedom, and peace. Baruch ata Adonai, Magen Avraham, ve'ezrat Sarah. And we read together, You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the door frame, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, eternal teacher. Encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כיבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מה אדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כיבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכינו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהים, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד קולך, ולנצח נצחים קדושך נקדיש. בשבחך אלוהינו, ממנו לא ימוש לעולם.
To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Page 216 for the blessing for shalom, for peace and wellness and wholeness. O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace. Let the nation know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. חן וחסד ורחמים. חן וחסד ורחמים, ורחמים. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עמך. שים שלום, טובה וברכה. שים שלום, טובה וברכה.
Take a moment for a silent prayer. The Misha Berach, the prayer for healing and courage and strength, is on page 253. We turn now to Seder Kriyat Torah LeShabbat, the order of reading from the Torah on Shabbat, on page 244. Please rise.
In
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Our God is one, Adonai is great, holy is God's name. Seated. Shabbat Shalom. We're at the Torah portion called Vayechi. It's the last Torah portion in the book of Genesis. So we are fortunate to have finished the first book in the Torah. And next week we will start the book of Exodus. So we should say at the end of the reading, Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazak. May we continue to go from strength to strength, or be strong, and together we will be stronger. It depends on how you choose to put the vowels in what part of this expression that is in the end of every Torah book and every cycle of reading from the Torah. This Torah portion is concluding the life of Jacob and the legacy of Jacob. Also, Joseph is going to die in this Torah portion, and all that generation is going to die in this Torah portion. We're going to read the part that is kind of the introduction to Jacob blessing his grandchildren, and we're going to see a very strange moment between Jacob and Joseph, a moment that the rabbis interpreting it in the Midrash are saying that Jacob lost the divine inspiration, that the Shekhinah, the divine presence in our world, was gone away from Jacob at that moment. We're going to see a moment of reflection, reflecting back to his life, and a moment where he realizes, Jacob realizes that he has done a huge mistake. It's also a moment, it's a very short moment, but of clarity and of honesty between Jacob and Joseph. In families, sometimes there are dark secrets or things that we would like to hide in our closets in a way. And this is a moment where everything comes out, and not necessarily in a good way. So we'll see the reaction. Right after that, there's a great moment between them, but we're not going to read that. There's actually a very important message for us that comes from this encounter, a teaching of, I think, what not to do, that Jacob realizes that he has done wrong, and how should we live our lives and our relationship with other people and with our families. But before reading and seeing all that, we're going to go to page 250 to say together the blessing before reading from the Torah. Jennifer, please lead us.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamborach, Baruch Adonai hamborach leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני, נותן התורה.
אמן. וירא ישראל את בני יוסף, ויאמר, מי אלה? ויאמר יוסף אל אביו, בניי הם, אשר נתן לי אלוהים בזה. ויאמר, קחם נא אלי ואברכם. ועיני ישראל כבדו מזוקן, לא יוכל לראות. ויגש אותם אליו, וישק להם, ויחבק להם. ויאמר ישראל אל יוסף, ראה פניך לא פיללתי, והנה הראה אותי אלוהים גם את זרעך. ויוצא יוסף אותם מעם ברכיו, וישתחו לאפיו ארצה. When Israel saw Joseph's sons, he asked, "Who are these?" And Joseph said to his father, "They are my sons, whom God has given me here." He, Jacob, said, "Bring them to me, pray that I may bless them." Israel's eyes had grown clouded with age. He could no longer see. Joseph brought them over to him, whereupon he kissed and hugged them. Israel then said to Joseph, "I never expected to see your face again, and here God has shown me your children as well." Joseph then removed them from his knees and bowed down before him to the ground. So there are a few things that are kind of very sad in this moment. The words in the Hebrew that Jacob says to Joseph are "Re'o panecha lo pilalti," which is translated here, I never dreamt or I never wished, not never wished, I'm sorry, I never dreamt that I will get to see your face again. But actually the Hebrew is much deeper than that. Pilalti is the same root as tfilah. So it says, I did not pray that I would see your face again. I thought that you were dead, so there was no chance that I would see your face again. Pilalti also means to think. So I never thought that I would see your face again. And pilalti also means Palel is to do a criminal act, so it can also be translated, and the Talmud and the rabbis a lot of time translate this word. Tfilah is kind of like bringing the divine into trial. When we are praying to Adonai, we're demanding all kinds of things. So we're like saying, God, we expected to have our livelihood and you're not providing our livelihood. God, we're expected to have our health and you're not providing that. So the rabbis are also seeing that in this root that carries so much, it's praying, it's thinking, and it's kind of bringing God into account. And this is a terrible tragedy that is all of a sudden pointed here. Now we're at a moment, this is 17 years after Jacob and the children of Jacob and Joseph re-encounter together. So this is 17 years after Jacob went down to Egypt. And all of a sudden, for the first time, they're airing those secrets that weren't told in those 17 years, at least according to the Torah, that Jacob is admitting that he gave up on finding Joseph, that he never sent any mission to find him or anything. He just believed the brothers that said that Joseph is dead, and he gave up on ever seeing him. And what a horrible tragedy it is for a father to realize that all those years, 20 years that he mourned over Joseph, actually Joseph was alive. How terrible of a tragedy it is for a father to realize that he actually kind of made peace with the fact that his child is dead and didn't continue to look over for him, even though there was no body there. It was only the coat that was filled in blood, and we know that it was a deception. And all of a sudden, Jacob realizes that. And then something else happened. The minute that Jacob says that I didn't pray or I didn't think that I would ever get to see you, it dawns on Joseph that his dad gave up on him, and he removes his children from the knees of his father, almost like saying, so you're not going to bless them. You lost your right to bless them. Now after that he will bring them back and there will be kisses and hugs and the blessing. But on this moment the rabbis and the Midrash are saying this is the moment that Jacob has lost the divine presence in his midst. This is the moment that he did not have a divine inspiration, so he couldn't bless him. This is a moment where the atmosphere was all of a sudden filled with truthfulness, something that is so missing from the life of Jacob, from the legacy of Jacob. And the Midrash is saying this is the moment that they both are airing the truth, and Joseph, for a short, brief moment, is saying, I actually don't want my father to give my children the blessing. Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, on his interpretation on this part, says the following: as long as the candle is lit, you have to struggle. You never give up. And the lesson to us, the message to us, is not to give up. It's not to stop praying. It's not to stop hoping. It's not to stop thinking how difficult the situation might be. Don't ever be in the situation that you stop praying for improvement, that you stop praying for tikkun, that you stop praying for a better situation. And if you do that, you will find yourself in a better legacy and in a better position than Jacob has found himself in that moment. We'll conclude with the blessing of after reading from the Torah, and then we can all join together by saying Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazak.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Please join me as we say together, Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazak. Be strong, and together we will be stronger. May we go from strength to strength. And God willing, we will next week as we'll start the stories from the book of Exodus. It's kind of fitting, I don't know if we're allowed to say it in a Jewish worship ritual, that the first story that we will read will be about baby Moses right there on Christmas Day. I think it falls when we will read about baby Moses and the miracle of baby Moses, the redeemer of our people from enslavement and from Egypt. We go now to page 293. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation, whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember especially Shirley Tanches-Deris, Joshua Fink, Raymond Allen Sr., Shlomo Supunitsky, Ann Silver, Francis Mormon, Patsy Brown, Marjorie Axler, Evelyn Brill Weinberg, Simon Steinberg, Abe Gotti, Ruth W. Fine, Joyce Friedman, Joe Bronner, Berta Rifkin, Sylvia Epstein Bordy, Jonathan Smith, John Greenstein Lynch, Joseph H. Greenstein, Lillian M. Lynch, Louis Levy, Julian Present, Jack Morris, Leatrice Carl, Glenn Graves, Maud Flegelman, Brandt Bloomberg, Nat Balin, Benjamin Goldberg, Biola Orter Gladstein, Carolyn Feldstein, Lil Epstein, Rabbi Leonard Devine, Pearl Berg, Miriam Swito, Adolf Schellenberg, Emily Keisler, Norton Greenberg, Dr. Alice Marie Wolf. We think of our loved ones, those whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. And with the blessed memories from our loved ones in our hearts, we rise as we turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה על שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה. May the memories from our loved ones come to be a blessing and a benediction to us all. Amen. Our closing song is Oseh Shalom. We ask God to bring shalom, wellness, and peace and wholeness to our lives. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. There are wonderful goodies baked by the women of Reform Judaism. You should all take one and maybe even one for the road, and may we all enjoy a safe and healthy and good Shabbat, a shalom to our bodies, to our mind, and to our souls. Shabbat shalom.